Okay, so on to part 2. I think I talked too much. I really did not mean to go this far, but we're almost done. Again, like I said, I wanted to just point out some important things about age and gender in Wilmington, Delaware. Wilmington's median age is 35.6. Female is 37.7. Male is 34.3. So pretty comparable there. The gender ratio does show more females that live in Wilmington as opposed to males. You can see that 52.60% and males 47.40%. And then we're going to look at race as it relates to Wilmington, Delaware. The majority of people living in Wilmington, Delaware report as Black or African American. That's at a 58.26%. Next, we have white following that at 35.57%. And then you can see how it kind of dwindles from then on out. Then we're going to go into the quality of life information. Here I kind of focused a little bit on, I guess, money, poverty, and how much the average income is. So first, if we look over at the poverty in Wilmington, the overall poverty is at a 26.04%. Male to female. Female is a little bit higher, but they're pretty comparable. Income, the median is around $36,337, with males making a little bit more, actually pretty good, decent amount more. 41,101, females 32,648. Yeah, and then over here just is a little table comparing the by household type. Going into crime in Wilmington, Delaware. I kind of already knew this, but it's pretty despairing looking at this information. So as of 2019, Wilmington's crime rate was at a 652. That is 2.4 times higher than the U.S. average. Wilmington's crime rate is higher than 98% of U.S. cities. So that's pretty bad. Like I said, most of these crimes do occur in the city of Wilmington, and which is, I guess, normal. Cities normally have that. And then I just kind of broke down the different crimes as it relates to Wilmington, Delaware. So property crime rate, Wilmington was 409. The U.S. average is 178.6, so definitely a lot higher there. Then you go into violent crime rates, and Wilmington, again, is extremely high, 813.5, whereas the U.S. average is 205.8. And then this chart over here just kind of breaks down the different crimes in Wilmington 2019. I thought that was pretty interesting to see how they line up there. Of course, theft is top. Rapes is down very low, but they're still there. So going, this is the based off of the Ohio State University Extension article of how to tell if a community, if it's a good community. And they had these listed, and I'm going to break them down in what I think, how Wilmington relates to that. But we have safety, goods and services, relationships that bind citizens together, commonality of values and goods, whole person principle, predictability, a recognized place in the social structure, opportunities, and then homogeneity. I never can say that word. So first, safety. Obviously, we are a big no there, as Wilmington is not a safe community. You know, first of all, we have a ton of traffic at all times. Construction, you know, every time you turn a street, there's construction going on. And it seems like they take years and years to get done a major project, which causes, obviously, you know, traffic, accidents, frustration, people being late for work, being late to school, things like that. So it's really bad. Also, you know, the crime rates are extremely bad. More crimes than 98% of the U.S. So definitely is not a safe city. Goods and services, I went into a big portion of that in my project, and I did show that Wilmington provides, you know, a ton of goods and services, and, you know, even manufactures them, which obviously is a plus for Wilmington. When we get into relationships, I do believe that Wilmington creates that bond, because you do see, you know, especially like developments will, you know, get together, you know, for activities that are planned, you know, go to parks, have events. So I do feel like they do create that variety of close relationships. Of course, you're always going to have a bad, you know, area, bad neighborhood, bad parts, but for the most part, I think it's a pretty good relationship that binds the citizens together. Going into commonality of values and goods, this one was tough. I mean, I did go with that it's a no, but you know, Wilmington is very big and diverse. It's you know, the biggest city in Wilmington. Therefore, it would be really difficult to have that commonality of, you know, certain things for each person. So that's kind of where I went with that one. Whole person principle. Again, this was another difficult one to kind of assess, but oh, I'm sorry. As the article points out, one thing that helps is that, you know, people in the community need to know each other very well. And I just don't think that's possible, especially with a big community that has different views, backgrounds, ages, you know, so forth and so on. Now, I do think the smaller ties are definitely closer, you know, like the smaller neighborhoods, you know, like my neighborhood, like we're, you know, extremely close knit. You know, we have a pool, you know, half the neighborhood goes in the summer and talks and, you know, gets together. So that's why that one was a little bit difficult for me. But predictability, as the article stated, changes in technology has altered our values, beliefs, comforts. So it's hard to predict, you know, how our day-to-day is going to go, especially with the high crime rates, the traffic and overcrowding that Wilmington has. Being recognized in the social structure. This one was difficult because of the many different neighborhoods, but all in all, I do think there is a set social structure. It definitely could affect the homelessness, poverty levels, and crime. Opportunities. I do believe Wilmington provides excellent resources, services, and allows for growth and fulfillment. The city is filled with a variety of products, services, you know, activities to help anyone in the community meet their desires. The last one, Wilmington meets this as they are a diverse community with a wide range of age groups. It provides goods and services and many opportunities for education and employment. So, like, all in all, I do think Wilmington is a good community, but it definitely needs work, which is here where I kind of laid this out. Obviously, the biggest one is just to lower, you know, the crime rate, again, address the poverty, address homelessness, because that's a big thing, especially downtown Wilmington, make more affordable housing, and then I know I've talked about this several times, but the traffic and construction in Delaware is just horrendous, and especially in Wilmington. So then this is just my references, and then these last 2 pages are my references as with the photographs. I just kind of wanted to separate them because it started to get a little confusing. So that's my presentation. Sorry it's so long. I didn't mean to keep going, but I look forward to watching everybody else's. Thank you so much.